Hey everyone, I'm going to take a look at the new Player of the Week section on eFootball. Before I do, there's one thing I didn't notice this morning when I did my video summarising the update. So if you go to shop and you go to eFootball coins, what you'll find when it eventually loads is they've actually hidden a couple of mini packs in there. So for 79p, you can get a Pep Guardiola card and 50 coins. And for £2.49, you can get a David Villa card with highlight cards of Perisic, Diaz and Watkins and 100 coins. So a couple of mini packs hidden in there. Pretty cheap. That's pretty good value actually, I think. So that's something I didn't notice earlier. Also, if you're waiting on the videos of new player faces, I'm working on those. I've got a bunch of player faces done. It's going to take a while though, so I'm working on it. So keep your eyes out. I will be posting those soon. But for Player of the Week, let's have a look at who we've got this week. We've got all 5 stars this week. So we'll start with Aktürkoğlu. So, I didn't realise this, but apparently he's joined Benfica. Interesting. So, we've got a whole player version. He's normally a prolific winger. Changed him to a whole player, and they've added left midfield to his positions as well. So that's interesting. If you like to play a wide midfielder, then he could suddenly be very appealing to you, because normally he doesn't have that. He used to have left wing and right wing. Recently, they changed him to have just left wing and SS. Now he's got left midfield on this card as well. There's been a few versions of him. There's been some similar Player of the Week ones. This is one of the better ones. There's been one or two higher rated ones. I got the highest rated one from the recent Turkey pack, which goes to 95, but that's down as a left wing forward. This is down as a left midfielder, so they weight the kind of, they use a different weighting of attributes to calculate the overall rating. This card is actually as good as that one. It's the one that I've got, the highest rated. Depending how you train it, slightly better than this one in some areas, but not so good in others. So this is a very good version of Aktürkoğlu. What they've done compared to his GP card, certainly on auto allocation, they made him worse on the ball. Again, made a winger worse on the ball when he's been Player of the Week. Makes no sense, but worse on the ball. He's got worse balance, but he's had a boost to passing, attacking awareness, speed, kicking power, stamina. Very nice boost to his finishing as well. No surprise because he got a hat-trick. That's what this card's based on. And then based on his skills, they've taken a few away. They've taken away Marseille turn, acrobatic finishing, heel trick and gamesmanship. They've added long range curler. That's a very good one to have as a right footer coming off the left flank. Long range curler, chip shot control. Not sure if that's still broken. I've not played any matches yet. I've been busy doing the videos. What else have they added? Long range shooting and first time shot. So great section skills for his finishing, along with a big boost to his finishing attributes. So that's very, very good. One touch pass he's already got. He's got track back for his skill moves. Soul control is nice. So yeah, good selection of skills that they put on this version of him. Pretty good attributes. It's a shame he's worse in the ball than he normally is, but he's got more end product than he normally does. And there's a whole player left midfielder, that attacking awareness, good pace, good technicals and end product. That is a good version of him. Like I say, it's a shame that they've done what they often do. They've made him a bit worse in the ball. I guess if they're going to boost him as much as they do elsewhere, especially with his finishing ability, if they kept him as good on the ball as he normally is, they might consider he'd be too good, and they don't want to make these packs too good, I guess. But yeah, either way, a couple of frustrations there, but ultimately this is a very nice version of Aktürkoğlu. I'll be pretty pleased if I get this guy. Now we have Luis Suárez. So not the first Player of the Week version we've had of Luis Suárez. We've had a couple over the past sort of 6-12 months that are pretty comparable to this one, to be honest. And they've not done anything drastic with him. Nothing's really changed. Positions, playing style, deep line forward. I'm not a fan of that playing style personally. I've said that before. If you are a fan of it, then fine. It could be good for you. It's a booster as well. We'll just activate the booster straight away. So you see the awareness, ball control, finishing, and acceleration. Is that finishing ability? Striker's instinct. Great. So yeah, technically he's sound, great awareness, good finishing. That'll go past 90 with your game plan boost. Passing's okay for a striker. I would like it to be a bit higher on a deep line forward because he's going to drop deep into the build-up. He's slow. That might bother you, it might not. Kicking power is great. Decent physical contact. Balance could be worse, I guess. All they've really done compared to his GP card, his balance is a bit worse, but everything else is just had a bit of a boost, really. Like I say, not a great deal has changed drastically. And skill-wise, we've lost cut behind and turn and Scotch move. And they've given him one-touch pass and captaincy. So he's got the usuals: first-time shot, acrobatic finishing, long-range curler, heel trick. Yeah, it's just another version of Suárez, really. Like I say, they've not really changed a great deal. But if you didn't get a previous Player of the Week version, if you've not got a good version of him, then it is a good version of him. Like I say, they've not done anything drastic compared to his GP card. The balance has been nerfed a bit, but apart from that, everything's had a bit of a nice boost. So yeah, if that playing style suits you, you don't mind the lack of pace, if you like Suárez, or even if you don't, if he does suit you, this is a pretty nice card. It's not one that suits me with the playing style, and I don't like players who are that slow, but yeah, like I say, it's a nice version of Suárez. For those who like him or who this type of striker suits, he could be a nice card to pick up. Now we have our goalie. So we've got Schmeichel. So again, not a lot's changed here. They don't often change much with the goalie. The playing style, the skills. He's got the usual skills that he has. Good set of skills for a goalie. It's a fairly decent keeper. We've had one previous version of Schmeichel in Player of the Week, and to be honest, it's a strange one because that one was higher rated. That one was 94, whereas this one's 93. But looking at the goalie stats, this one's actually better. He's 5 better on awareness. He's got a few higher on catching and parrying. Reflex is 1 lower. It's only 1 though. Reach likewise, just 1 lower. 3 lower on jumping. And he's significantly worse in distribution. I wonder how big a factor the distribution is. You think goalkeeper wants to be the biggest one. This one's 5 higher, but yeah, like I say, that previous version was rated 1 higher overall on 94, but I think this one's a bit better overall. Goalkeeping's better. It's just the distribution that's a bit worse. But yeah, it's a nice boost of his GP card. You've already got 90 reflexes. Awareness is going past 90 with the game plan boost. Decent catching and parrying. Reach, he's just shy of 6'3". I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue, but that is a bit on the lower side for reach. So he's not got brilliant reach. He's not an elite level keeper by any means, but certainly it's a pretty good one if you don't have too many great goalkeeper options. It could be a decent one to pick up, a good option to have. Certainly Celtic fans will be very pleased to get this card now. He's a Celtic player, so yeah. Not a bad keeper. It's not an amazing one, but it's not a bad one. It's a good version of Schmeichel. And next we have Ronaldo, who of course got his 900th career goal. No surprise they've included him. So it's a good version of Ronaldo. We've had quite a few versions of him by now. It's one of the better ones. Obviously it's not on the same level as there's been a couple of Showtime types of card. But apart from those with the Player of the Weeks and the regular kind of highlight versions we've had, it's pretty much one of the better ones. Nice boost on his GP card on the whole. Primarily his passing, his finishing, and some of these physical here. Some of these attributes here, they've all had a boost by a few points. Elsewhere, they've just kind of kept it roughly the same, kind of shuffled it around, a few slightly higher, 1 or 2 slightly lower. But yeah, like I say, passing, finishing, some of these physicals, decent boost. It is a booster as well. If we hit the booster, what do we get? So a bit more on the physicals here, good. More on the finishing, that's 93 before your game plan boost. Nice. Ball control is now going to get to 80 with the game plan boost when he's in A form. Skill-wise, they've changed nothing. So that's the usual set of skills you get Ronaldo, heading, long-range shooting, first-time shot. Yeah, really, it's a nice version of Ronaldo. I think if you've got a good version of him already, you won't really need this one, I don't think. But if you don't have a good version of him, it is a good one. I always say with a goal poacher, I like that pace to be at least up sort of around the mid-80s or higher. You can certainly live without that pace, so it depends how you play the game. You know, some people don't really rely on pace, that's fine. If that's the case, then you might like this guy a lot. The one real weakness, apart from possibly the pace for some people, is the balance is dodgy. That seems to always be the case with Ronaldo these days. That's actually been nerfed quite a bit from his GP card. I've just noticed that. So yeah, balance a bit of an issue, but apart from that, a nice boost, especially when he gets the A form. And ultimately, if you don't mind the slight lack of pace in the goal poacher, it's a good version of Ronaldo. So yeah, if you don't have a good version of him already, it might be a very good card for you to pick up. And now we have Luka. So he scored a lovely free kick for Croatia. They've not changed much with this guy either. Positions, playing style, weaker form, everything's pretty much the same. It's another booster. We'll boost him in a second. If you compare this to his GP card, as you'd expect, he's had a nice boost overall. He's actually 1 lower on the ball. All 3 of these on the ball attributes have been reduced by 1 from his GP card. Why they've done that, I do not know. Passing, 4 lower on low pass, 4 lower on lofted pass. Why have they done that? Don't know. Big boost on his finishing. It's up by 12 from his GP card. He's a bit better defensively than his GP card. A bit more pace. A little bit less kicking power. He's got a bit more jump in physical contact. Balance down by 1. Don't know why. Stamina's a nice boost. Up to 86. Nice. Skill-wise, they've taken away sombrero and interception. And they've given him long-range curler and no-look pass. So interception's a bit of a loss. That's a shame. Long-range curl's a nice one though. They've got rising shot, long-range shooting. He's got some shooting skills, and then one-touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, outside curler. He's got the skills you'd expect from Modrić. So yeah, compared to his GP card, not a massive boost. Certainly the finishing's a nice boost, but yeah, it's just been kind of joggled around a little bit, the attributes elsewhere. If you compare him to the one that was in the point store recently, he's pretty much I would say the point store one's slightly better, to be honest. The two things this one's got over the point store version, set pieces and finishing. That's really it compared to the point store one. So if you've got that one from the point store and then you get this one, bearing in mind this one doesn't have interception anymore and it's better at finishing and set pieces, maybe this one's better being used as an attacking midfielder, and you could train that one from the point store as an orchestrator, as a DMF CMF, and then use this one as an attacking mid, because those are the two differences, the three differences really: finishing better, set pieces better, and doesn't have interception. But apart from that, yeah, it's pretty similar to the point store one, to be honest. And like I say, it's not a massive boost from the GP card, just really the finishing and set pieces. But yeah, I think again, similar to Ronaldo really, if you don't have a good version of Modrić already, then it'll be a really nice card to pick up, because it is a good card. This obviously is exactly as you'd expect Modrić to be. He's not the paciest or the strongest, but he's technically very sound. He's got good passing, but albeit he's been nerfed with the passing compared to his GP card for some bizarre reason. But yeah, if you don't have a good version of him, you might really like this card. If you do, especially if you got the one from the point store, then you don't really need this one. And if you do get this one when you've already got the point store one, maybe use the retrain the point store one as more of a deep line playmaker and have this one as an AMF perhaps. But yeah, if you don't have a good version of him, it is a good card. It's just a shame it's not a bit better. They've just the passing and the way they've not made certain attributes better. It's a bit of a strain really. They do it with a lot of cards. I rant about it all the time, but yeah, I won't rant anymore. Could have been better, but it's still a good version of Modrić. Next we have Gabriel Magalhães from Arsenal. So we've had a few versions of him. There have been a couple of good ones recently. There's a Player of the Week one not too long ago that went 95 rated. Pretty similar to this one. There was a Premier League Team of the Season pack where he was in that as well. And again, that was pretty similar to this one. You could argue those two are slightly better than this one, but they're pretty similar. Compared to his GP card, same position, playing style, all the stuff down the right is the same. They've nerfed his awareness and engagement slightly, but they have buffed his pace and his stamina. So we've got a bit more pace and stamina, slightly less awareness and engagement. Passing as well has gone up a bit as well, to be fair. So yeah, it's a decent version of Magalhães. Skill wise, that's where, to be honest, that's where they've really improved him. So they've added a few skills there. Which ones are new? They've added acrobatic clearance, blocker, and sliding tackle. The rest are already there. So he's pretty much got a complete set of skills for a centre back. I think that's just about all the skills you really need. Fighting spirit would be nice, but he's had that boost to his stamina, a bit more pace. So yeah, with the skills they've added, the attributes have improved. It's a good version of Magalhães. A shame they've took the awareness and engagement down slightly, but ultimately it's a good version. It's another one of these cards where if you've already got a good version, like the one from the Premier League Team of the Season, for example, you probably won't need this one. But if you don't have one of those better versions of him, it is a good version of him. And on the whole, it's a good centre-back card. It's got pretty much everything. I'd like a bit more jumping, to be honest. That's probably the one thing I'd like to be a bit higher. But apart from that, yeah, he's a good solid centre-back. Awareness engagement, would like to be a bit higher, as always. I always say this kind of thing, but yeah, I don't think you can really complain. If you've not got a good version of him already, good card. Next up is Dimarco. Scored that unbelievable goal for Italy against France. It's a good version of him. They've changed him from a fullback finisher to an attacking fullback. That's an interesting one. I've watched that match. I personally would have said he was more of a left midfielder, maybe a cross specialist perhaps, but they've gone down to left back, attacking fullback. If you prefer that playing style to fullback finisher, then you might like this version of him. I've personally got a good version of him from a previous pack. I think it's that Japanese tour card, maybe it's like a year or so ago. That's a fullback finisher. I prefer that playing style, so I'll be pleased if I get this guy. Compared to his GP card, kicking power's down, but apart from that, a bit more physical strength, a little bit better technically. Finishing's had a nice boost, so yeah, it's a decent boost I've given him. Obviously the finishing's gone up after the goal he scored. Nothing's changed over here. We look at the skills. They've taken away dipping shot and given him acrobatic finishing. I didn't think his finish was particularly acrobatic, but I don't know, that's just me. They've also given him one touch pass, which is nice. So yeah, we've still got, as a fullback, still got the important one, interception. Acrobatic clearance is nice as well. But then going forward, as always, this guy's got a lovely selection of skills going forward as an attacking fullback, outside curler, pinpoint crossing especially, one touch pass and weighted pass, first time shot, acrobatic finishing, long way shooting, knuckle shot. So passing, shooting, crossing, he's got some skills there. He's got a good cross on him, 85 lofted, 90 curl, 88 kicking power, is going to hit 90 with the game plan boost. I'd like the stamina to be a little bit higher, to be honest. But apart from that, as an attacking fullback, I think this is a really good card. It's not the highest rated Dimarco card we've had. We've had one or two higher ones. The one I've got is 95, but If you really look at all the attributes, sure, 1 or 2 are slightly higher, 1 or 2 slightly lower, but it's certainly one of the better versions of Dimarco. I think the one key thing with this guy is the playing style, attacking fullback. I think that's the one thing that really sets him aside from previous versions. So yeah, I think this is a good card. You could use him in left midfield. I don't personally think he's good enough on the ball to be a left midfielder. You're better off getting his GP card and training that to be a left midfielder because you can make it better on the ball. If you wanted to be a left midfielder. As a left back though, certainly wouldn't consider him as a centre back. Not a chance. He's short. He can't defend well enough. But as a left back, like I say, with that playing style changing especially, I think the only real possible weakness is the stamina's a little bit low. But apart from that, good snatching skills, especially going forward. Good attributes. I think it's a really good attacking fullback. It's an interesting version of Dimarco. And like I say, it's good, but especially with that playing style changing, if you like that playing style, that could be a reason why a lot of people would really like this version of him, including me. So yeah, this is a good card. This is a good attacking left back. Now we have another Ferran Torres. We've had a few Player of the Week Ferran Torres cards, all go up to about 94. This is very comparable to them, all slightly different in certain ways, but on the whole, pretty similar. Normally a roaming flank. They've changed him to a prolific winger this time. Positions on his position chart the same down the right hand side here. In terms of his attributes, what have they done? He's got a bit less awareness and balance than his GP card does, but he's had a bit of a boost to his speed. He's had a nice boost to his physical contact actually, and also his low pass and finishing been boosted quite a bit. So it's a good version on the whole. The rest slightly boosted on the whole. It's a nice version of Torres. Skill wise, we've lost Sombrero and Penalty Specialist. I think we can live without them, especially since they've given him long range curler, one touch pass and super sub in return. I think that's a good trade. So a few skill moves there. Soul control is always nice. With his finishing, long range curler is a right foot. If you play him on the left flank, coming inside into his right foot, long range curler is a good one to have, especially with the finishing getting a nice boost. And then heel trick's a nice one. One touch pass, through passing, pinpoint crossing, low lofted pass. Being a super sub is always a bonus. Those passing and crossing skills, I don't think his passing is going to be great, even with the pinpoint crossing skill. Lofted pass only 76, but low pass getting boosted right up to 80. He will have a decent pass on him, especially for a wide man. So got a bit more in product than normal. Still good on the ball, quick. I think it's a decent version of Torres, to be honest. We know physical contact's more important now, so that nice boost of physical contact could be quite significant. Time will tell how big of a deal that change is that they've made to physical contact, the kind of auto shielding, whatever it is they've done. But yeah, this is a decent version of Torres. Again, if you've got a good version, we've got one of the previous Player of the Week versions, they're pretty similar. They're very comparable, so you might not need this one, but the way they boosted this one with his own product, with him still being quick and good on the ball and stuff, and he's quite versatile and a super sub, I think it's a good version of him. Either flank, especially as an inverted ring on the left, I think it looks pretty decent. As a striker, don't think he's got the finishing, certainly doesn't have the attacking awareness, but on the wing, especially left wing, cutting inside onto his right foot, I think it's a tidy looking card. This is a decent one. And now another Julián Alvarez. We've had quite a few versions of Alvarez. This is a good one. We've had a Player of the Week from the Champions League a while back that was also 95 rated. That's what this one is. That was a whole player though. This one's a deep line forward. That's his regular playing style. Got his regular positions as well. I would say that whole player one from Champions League was slightly better than this, but obviously they're pretty similar with the same overall rating. Certainly with an A form boost, that Champions League one's a little bit better, I think. But yeah, weaker foot, slightly stronger. Just noticed that. Compared to his GP card, what have we seen changing here? So apart from the weak foot being a bit stronger, we've got a bit less balance. They always seem to put the balance down on attacking players on Player of the Week cards. Very strange, but yeah, balance is down a bit, but we've got a bit more pace, kicking power, a bit more physical contact, technical's up a little bit, heading's up a little bit. The big boost is passing though. He's had a nice boost on his passing. That's higher than it normally is. So yeah, skill wise, no change. First time shot, long range shooting, rising and dipping shots. He's got soul control, a couple of skill moves, and then with the passing, one touch pass, through passing, pinpoint crossing. Don't think that's going to come into the equation. He's not got great passing with 76, but as a centre forward, that is decent. It just depends how you use this guy. He's got attacking midfield. I don't think his passing is anywhere near good enough to play attacking midfield. There's an SS, that playing style deep line forward will still be active there. Is his passing good enough? I'm not sure. I think either SS or centre forward, you're going to have to be careful. Don't ask too much with his passing, but yeah, outside of that, he's decent technically. He's got decent awareness and finishing, but not brilliant. He's got reasonable pace. Kicking power is great. Physical and balance are both decent. Yeah, it's a good version of Alvarez. I've got a goal poacher version. I think it was that free one we got quite recently. I prefer him as a goal poacher. And I was able, because that was a trainable card, I was able to put a bit of pace on him. I quite like him as a deep line forward. Again, I said it was Luis Suarez. It's not a playing style I personally like. You might like it. If you do, then you might really like this card. I'm not a huge fan in terms of the way the bounces, the attributes kind of match up with his playing style. I'm not sure. They kind of match up. I just like that passing to be 80 plus, to be honest, as a deep line forward. But if you do like the playing style and if you're careful enough with his passing, it's a good version of Alvarez. He's had a nice boost compared to his GP card. So yeah, it's a decent card. It's not going to be for everyone, but if he suits you, I think it could be a nice one to pick up. Now we have a very interesting card. We've got another Jamal Musiala card. Most interesting thing about this card, they made him a whole player. Normally a playmaker. This time they've changed him to a whole player. That'll be an active playing style, left midfield, centre midfield, attacking midfield, not as a left wing. If you play him as a forward on the left-hand side, he will not have an active playing style. But all other positions, he'll be a whole player. I would not play him centre midfield because he can't defend to save his life, but certainly as an attacking mid or left mid with the whole player playing style, this is a very interesting version of Musiala. There have been a bunch of Musialas in Player of the Week, untrainable ones. This is very comparable to pretty much all the Player of the Week versions of him, to be honest. The only one I'd say is significantly different is there's a Champions League one, which is quite a bit better on the ball, but it's got quite a bit less speed. Other than that, though, like with all the other previous Player of the Week versions, very similar. If you compare him to his GP card, had a bit of a boost to his stamina and to his finishing. Both stamina and finishing have gone up by quite a bit, but it's another one of these. I'm sick of complaining about this, but I can't not say it. Compared to his GP card, if you auto allocate the points on his GP card, they've nerfed him on the ball. His ball control is down by 5. His dribbling is down by 2. His tight possession is down by 9. How are you putting this guy in a worldwide Player of the Week selection and saying his tight possession is 9 worse than it normally is? Just. Anyway, still good in the ball though. With your game plan boost, you're still hitting 90 plus in all 3 of these. 90 plus in your low pass, getting 80 for your lofted pass, 80 plus attacking awareness on a whole player. That's important. Good pace, decent balance. Skill wise, the only change from his GP card is a crucial one because they've taken away gamesmanship, but they've given him the one skill that he always lacks, and that's through passing. So you've got Jamal Musiala with through passing. So that's a big addition. Already got a bunch of skill moves there. Long range curl if you play him on the left hand side, very important. That's a great skill to have. Dipping shot, first time shot, and then one touch pass, and now through passing. And he's a super sub. He was already a super sub. This is a really interesting card. It's a big shame that they've messed up his on the ball attributes there. It really frustrates me the way they do that. But he is still good on the ball though. It depends which way you look at it. Do you cry because they're worse than they normally are, or do you say fair enough, they're still good and he's good elsewhere? For me, I can't see past how annoying that is, but this is nonetheless a very good card. If you look at the card in isolation, quick, great on the ball, great passing, especially with that through passing skill being added, with 80 plus attacking awareness and finishing in the 80s as well, with the skills he's got with through passing and the super sub especially. I like the whole player playing style as a left midfielder. I think this looks like a really neat card in that position. He'd be really neat as a left wing forward even without a playing style. And again, if you like him as an attacking midfielder with that playing style as well, it'd be great there, especially with that through passing skill they've added. So yeah, looking at it in isolation, this is a fantastic card. It's just the way they've nerfed him on the ball is really frustrating. But outside of that, really nice looking card. This, I'll be very pleased if I get it. And we finish up with Declan Rice. So again, no change to playing style or positions. Nothing changed on the right here. The changes are in the attributes. So the bad news, they've nerfed him defensively. He's still strong defensively. Aggression and engagement are hitting 90 with the game plan boost. We're well into the 80s in awareness and tackling. He's had a bit of fair nerfing on these attributes though compared to his GP card, but it is a trade-off because they have boosted him a bit on his balance, his kicking power, his acceleration, his on-the-ball attributes have gone up a bit. His passing's had a nice boost. His finishing's had a nice boost. His attacking awareness had a bit of a boost. So whereas he's normally very defensive-minded, they've given him a much more well-balanced build now. He's more of a box-to-box. I think this is a decent version of Declan Rice on the whole. Looking at his skills, one simple change. We've lost captaincy, but they've given him one touch pass. That's one skill that he's really lacking on most of his cards. To be honest, the only skill he's lacking now this card is through passing. If he had through passing, he'd have a pretty complete set of skills for a centre mid. As it is, he's got pretty much everything else he needs. One touch pass, weighted pass, low lofted pass. Defensively, as he always has: man marking, interception, blocker, sliding tackle, fighting spirit. He's got a bit of everything in the middle of the park. He's physically strong. He's not the quickest or the most nimble. He never is, but he has been boosted a bit in some of those areas. Better on the ball than he normally is as well. That passing, like I say, is a nice boost. That's nice. And defensively, he's still strong. So, yeah, he's a good all-round version of Rice. We've had quite a few versions of Rice. We've had a few that go up to about this rating. But this is a good, well-rounded version of him. So if you want a version of Rice that's not so much of an out-and-out defensive midfielder as he often is, you want more of a kind of all-rounder that's more suited to playing centre midfield, box-to-box, getting up and down the pitch, who can do a bit of everything. I think this is a good, solid card, to be honest. So there you go. It's the first Player of the Week selection of eFootball 4.0.0, or eFootball 25, if you want to give it its unofficial name. I always say it's a decent one. It's fairly interesting, but I don't know. I might retract that. I'm not sure it's that interesting. There's a lot of cards in here: Modrić, Suárez, Ronaldo, Magalhães. A lot of cards that really haven't changed much from their GP cards. It's just decent versions of them, to be honest, even with boosters. I think Aktürkoğlu is quite an interesting one. I quite like the look of that card. I quite like the look of Musiala, even though they've messed up his on-the-ball attributes. I'm going to keep on ranting about that because it's just so frustrating. Rice, that's a good all-round build. I don't think it's a particularly exciting card, but if you like an all-round version of Rice who can do a bit of everything, he's not so kind of, his attributes and strengths aren't so heavily weighted towards his defensive strengths, then yeah, that could be a good version of Rice for you. Yeah, Dimarco, you want an attacking forward version? Decent one. It's a decent selection. I just don't think it's a particularly exciting one, but certainly I do think a lot of the cards in here could be worth having for a lot of people. So yeah, not a bad selection, just not a particularly exciting one. Some decent cards in there. And as always, I will do my free spin for you. There's no Newcastle players this week, so I can't have my heart broken again like I did when I missed out on Nick Pope. Still gutted about that. I remembered to put the volume down this time, so hopefully I'm not being drowned out by the deafening sound effects this time. Who are we going to get? Musiala or Aktürkoğlu, please? See a white shirt. No yellow shirt. Magalhães. Well, at least that's some kind of booster token thing, I guess, when I release him. I don't need him. Decent card, though, to be fair. So there you go. Hopefully you found that interesting. Hopefully you get a good spin when you do your free spin on Player of the Week. Thank you for watching. As always, as I mentioned at the start, player face videos should be coming up soon. I'm working on that. And yeah, there'll probably be one or more videos. I've got to do the nominating contract, the match pass one as well. That'll be a big video. That'll probably be sometime tomorrow, but I'll crack on with that as soon as I can once I'm done with the player faces. So more videos coming. I'll try and do a live stream at some point as well. So yeah, hopefully see you guys soon, either in the comments or on the live stream. Thanks for watching. Hope you found it useful. Take care of yourselves. See you soon.